All right, everyone, it's Mr. Rops here, and we are going to do another puzzle here. And our function at this point is 2x squared. There is our puzzle. Well, it is in standard form, where the a value is now 2, b is 0, and c is 0. Now, the a value being 2 is a brand new transformation for us. So here is our table, f of x and x. And let's put some values on here. So 1, 2, 3. So let's start with the easy one. 0 is easy. I put 0 in there, and 0 squared is 0 times 2, and I get 2. I get 0, sorry. 0 times 0. Now, typically, on my regular function, I would have my parabola, x squared. Here's my parent function. And so I know I would over 1, up 1. Here would be 1, 1. So when I take 1 and I plug it in for x squared, I get 1 squared, and then it's times 2. So x is still 1, but then I go up to 2. Up to 2 here. So it's moved up. The y value is changed up to 2. Similarly, if I take 2, I know it would be 2 squared, which is 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So typically, this is going to be 8. And so typically I go over 2, up 4. Here's the point 2, 4. But now I take this 4, which was x squared, and I multiply it times 2 to get to 8. So it pulls it up here. Similarly, it's going to happen. This is going to go 2 here, so that's going to be 2. And this is going to be 8 up here. It's going to be 2, 8. If I take negative 3, or positive 3, I go over 3, square it, I go up to 9. And then I take 9 and I multiply it by 2 and I get 18. Way up here is 318 and negative 318. And so I get this parabola here. It ends up being a skinny parabola. This is 18 and 18. And so what this has done is it's taken it, it's basically pulled this parabola up further and quicker. And so this here is what we call a vertical stretch of factor 2. Stretch by a factor of 2 is a vertical stretch by a factor 2. Let's look at Desmos to see how the vertical stretch changes things. And so now I have my base function here. And actually I'm going to keep it here. Let's keep y equals x squared. It's blue. Let's make it red. It doesn't. Oh, there we go. Let's make it red so it's clear to tell the difference. And this one is behind it. So I'm going to take the a value and I'm going to make it bigger. And so what happens, and I'm going to pull it. Okay, and so here is when it's 2, all these values here, it basically takes it and it stretches it up to the sky. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I can do it up to 5. Okay, it gets more and more stretched. So as opposed to being at this value 1, 1, or 1, 1, which is over here, it's at the point now at 1, 5. Maybe you can more clearly see it when I do this. Here was 1, 1, or here was 1, 1. Oh, 1, 1. Now I'm zooming too much. 1, 1. And now I get 1, 5. Now, so when I go back to 1, make an A1. So if a is bigger than 1, it's a vertical stretch, making it skinny. But if it's less than 1, look what happens to the graph now. So now I have 0.5, and so it's, if I take my x value of 1, I plug it in, I square it, it was 1, I'm going to get it down to 1.5. And so if my a value is between 1 and 0, and positively, it becomes a more fat-like graph, is what I like to say. All right, so this is a vertical stretch by factor 2. And so if I look at my function notation, there's no reflection. There is a vertical stretch by a factor 2, but there are no shifts in this one particularly. If I look at my key features, A is 2. My vertex again is here at 0, 0. I can see my vertex here, 0, 0. It's also, the pattern goes from the vertex in both directions. That's a nice way to pick out the vertex from your table. Axis of symmetry comes from the x value here. You can see it here is the y-axis, so it's x equal to 0. X and y intercepts are quite straightforward because it's 0, 0. Domain is, if I think about vertical lines, it's going to touch the graph everywhere, so it's x is any real number. For y's, I'm looking where does it go this way. Here's where it touches anything up above. So y is bigger than or equal to 0 is the range. Doing some problem solving algebraically here. F of x is negative 8, so well it's 2x squared equals negative 8. Divided by 2, I get x squared is equal to negative 4. Square root that, and that's impossible. There's no solution. If I sketch it, well, here's 2x squared. Here's negative 8. No solution. And then let's do function notation here. If I'm going to do f at 3p, this is my x value, so it's 2 3p squared, which is 2 times 9p squared, which is then 18p squared in simplified form. So there's another puzzle for you. Here's your introduction to a vertical stretch. The y values get multiplied by this number. Good luck.